And hi, everyone. Welcome to our Pulse webcast, where we cover the roadmap in some level of detail so you don't have to try to figure it all out on your own. On this particular episode, we have Tamara Bredemus, we have Mathew Ruderman, and we have me, Tom Duff. So if you have not been part of this party in the past, what we do is we have three different categories that Microsoft puts in the roadmap. One is in development. That means that Microsoft has an idea, they put it out there on the roadmap, and they are in the process of working on it with a projected due date, or due month, as we should say. Then we switch over to rolling out. Rolling out means that it is in the process of being moved out to the various tenants, such as worldwide, GCC, GCC higher DoD, and you may start seeing it in your tenant if you are the targeted tenant for that particular change. Final thing is launched, and in launched, basically what it says is if you're in the tenant to which that change was made, you should be seeing it by then. So with that, usually we can have cancel too, but I don't think we had any this time. So
I didn't
we'll
see
just
any.
deal with the three. Cool. With that, let's go ahead and get started. Tamara, would you like to kick us off with things that you thought were really cool in the roadmap?
Sure. Let's focus on in development. Thumbnail view for PDF is available in OneDrive and SharePoint on the web. So Microsoft is improving PDF navigation in OneDrive and SharePoint on the web by adding a thumbnail view in the PDF viewer. Users will be able to open a thumbnail panel to visually browse pages in a PDF and jump directly to a selected page. This update is going to help users navigate long PDFs more quickly, especially when they need to find a visual section, page layout, chart, image, or form without scrolling page by page. So that comes out in August, and everybody gets that love. And then OneDrive PDF, it's the same thing. So one's announcing it for SharePoint. Nope, this is different. OneDrive PDF annotation for sensitivity label protected PDFs in OneDrive app. So the Microsoft OneDrive apps in iOS and Android are going to let users annotate PDFs protected by Microsoft Purview Information Protection sensitivity label that applies encryption without removing or weakening the label. Users with edit and annotate rights can add a full set of annotations, including ink, highlight, free text, notes, signatures, image shape data stamps or date stamps, bookmarks, and form fields directly in the OneDrive mobile PDF viewer. The file's encryption and usage rights are preserved end to end. This applies to the OneDrive app for iOS and Android only, not OneDrive or SharePoint on the web. The feature is enabled by default for eligible users and requires no new admin action. That's coming out in August and is good for everybody. All the tenants get some love.
I like that one.
Yeah. And then this I thought was interesting. Microsoft Teams SharePoint app in Teams. So when a user who has access to the SharePoint app in Teams clicks a SharePoint page or news link in Teams, either in chat or in channels, the link will open inside the SharePoint app in Teams if it's available, instead of the mobile browser. I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't know how I feel about that one either.
Yeah, and it's good for everybody, and it's August that is coming out. But that one, I don't like it when it opens Word within Teams. It just kind of takes over everything. I don't care for it. And then Outlook notification when not responding to most recent message of email thread.
I like this one.
Yeah, this is great. we already have this in Outlook Classic, but they're adding it to new Outlook for Windows. So when replying to an email conversation and the message being replied to is not the latest in the conversation, Outlook for Windows and the web will now display a notification indicating this. With this change, users can now be more confident that they're responding to the right message in the email conversation. Hashtag new Outlook for Windows. And that is coming out in August, but just for the worldwide or standard tenant. And then the last one I'm going to touch on, because there are a lot. Outlook, reply with a template in rules. Yeah, isn't that interesting? You can now create a rule that automatically replies to incoming messages with a template that you've set up. Set the conditions you care about and pick the template, and Outlook handles the response for you. It's a simple way to send consistent replies without typing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And
The
then, of course,
SharePoint team doesn't have to build it for you.
yes. Hashtag new Outlook for Windows. That's coming out in September for the worldwide or standard. Mathew, what do you have in development?
Great question, Tamara. I've
Thank
got
you.
it looks like 4 this week. They all start, surprisingly, Microsoft Purview. It looks like I got 2 for DLP. I will start with Microsoft Purview, data loss prevention, collection, and DLP policies. Policies for Intune policy managed apps. Microsoft is introducing a new integrated Microsoft Purview data loss prevention capability for Intune mobile application management for protected mobile apps. This will enable organizations to apply content-aware protection policies to sensitive data on mobile devices. This integration ensures that clipboard actions in managed mobile apps are evaluated against Purview DLP policies before sharing is allowed. This will help reduce data leakage, insider risk, and exposure to advanced threats across mobile workflows. Additionally, Microsoft Purview collection policies can be used to govern how sensitive data is handled in mobile apps. I'm always a fan of more granular protection options, whether it's for desktop systems or, in this case, mobile apps. This is in development. It has a tentative release date of November of this year, so we got a little while to wait. And this will come to standard worldwide tenants first. The other DLP item is user-based aggregation of DLP alerts. This will enable aggregation of DLP alerts based on common entities user. Nope, that is the way it's written. Common entities user when multiple rules are matched. This feature should consolidate related alerts into a single alert objective to reduce noise, simplify investigation workflows, enhance contextual understanding of violations. This has a tentative release date of September of 2026 and will be coming to GCC, GCC High, and DoD. I think this feature came out for standard worldwide sometime earlier this year, because I'm pretty sure I remember reading a very similar description at some point in the not too distant past. All right, the next 2 are both coming to standard worldwide tenant. The first one is Microsoft Purview Data Lifecycle Management Graph API support for archived mailboxes. Access to archive mailboxes, both main and auxiliary archives, through Microsoft Graph. The goal is to give users a single, seamless archive view, even though archive data may physically reside across multiple auxiliary mailboxes in Exchange Web Services Graph APIs. Those Graph APIs are getting deprecated in October of this year, so this access through Microsoft Graph will be your replacement for at least this kind of set of data through your API functionalities. Again, this is coming to standard worldwide with an August tentative release date. And then the last one I have in development, Microsoft Purview, Insider Risk Management, DS Triage Agent for IRM available in Defender. What a mouthful. Microsoft is introducing support for insider risk management alert agent summaries within Microsoft Defender. This will enable investigators to access key triage insights directly in their Microsoft Defender alert queue. When IRM triage agent is active, IRM agents surface in Microsoft Defender will now include the agent summary, such as agent categorization, investigation summary, identified risk patterns, and relevant user details, helping analysts quickly assess alert severity without leaving their Defender workflows. There's also going to be, for deeper analysis, investigators can access the full IRM, Insider Risk Management, investigation experience within Microsoft Purview. Microsoft Purview Insider Risk Management correlates various signals to allow better analysis of potential insider risk situations. This again is coming to standard worldwide with a December release date of this year. I can't believe we're already to the point in the year where I'm saying December release dates.
Oh, for what it's worth, I saw an actual planner item that came through from the message center that had a due date of February 2027.
No, I
ouch.
don't want to think about that yet.
Yeah, don't want to think about that one at all.
Tom, help us think about something different.
Okay, so let's think about something different. Okay, Microsoft Copilot Studio, use SharePoint lists as a knowledge source.
Ooh.
So if you're basically, doing Copilot Studio agents and things, you're going to be able to give it a SharePoint list directly into the agent. And with that native support, the customers are going to be able to ground their AI responses in up-to-date business critical data, such as task, inventory, customers, or operations, without manual data movement or complex integrations. This is going to enable, obviously, more accurate context-aware copilots that reflect how your business is actually working. I think the fact that they're starting to bring in the SharePoint lists is huge, because that's where a lot of your data resides. And, documents are great, but if you want to know what's going on a day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute thing, you need to be able to get those lists and work with those. So that's going to be coming out in September. Copilot Studio, and those are both worldwide. Then we have Copilot engaging customers across multiple channels, web, voice, SMS, and email. Multi-channel outreach capability, scanning all those things I just mentioned, is critical for meeting customers in the channel would naturally prefer and increasing the likelihood of timely engagement. By activating the agent across all those surfaces, Microsoft wants to ensure continuity of conversations, reduce drop-off when a single channel fails, and support the FY27 goal of always-on end-to-end engagement from initial intent to close. This creates higher response rates, faster qualifications, and a more seamless handoff. I think what we're seeing with this one, actually, is this is probably for Copilot sales, because they're talking about the different sales things. At the very end, it's seamless handoff to sales motions. And there is a Copilot sales component. So I'm guessing that's probably going to be more sales related, which is fine. Then we have adding custom insights to record summaries and sales agent, same type of thing. And finally, enriching sales agent meeting prep with more data sources, linking meetings to CRM records automatically with AI. Those are all part of things that are coming out with Copilot sales. So if that's something that you're using, you'll definitely want to check the roadmap to see more detail about what those are actually coming out with. Some of them are March 2027, other ones are September 2026. Then we have create new workflows with Copilot in SharePoint. It's a little interesting. Describe a workflow intent, such as when files are set to status equals complete, post a message in my Teams chat. And Copilot in SharePoint will assemble the necessary triggers, conditions, and actions to set up your workflow. You can come back to Copilot in SharePoint at any time to make changes or click workflows from the command. I think it's great where they're trying to make the whole Copilot thing much easier to work with in the various areas where you want to use it. So that's a good thing there. And then what else did we have here? Microsoft Teams is going to have new controls for quick views in the chat list. So quick views are the little things that are in the upper left corner that say replies, follows, unreads, stuff like that, which are great, but a lot of times they're sitting there empty, taking up space in the navigation. You're like, why do I have to look at them? So these new chat and channel experiences introduced quick views at the top. These are info or views into, like I said, mention, follow threads, and more. This update allows users to choose when and how these quick views are shown. Users will have the options such as always show, always hide, and only show when unread. Users will also be able to collapse the quick view section entirely if you just don't want to see those things. So that's coming out in August, and that is coming out to GCC High and DoD because the rest of us already have it. And I think one more thing. OneDrive, I think one more thing. OneDrive excludes specific folders when syncing. So OneDrive for Windows and Mac are going to let users exclude specific folders from syncing. So folders that do not need to be in the cloud, such as developer tooling folders like PowerShell modules, Visual Studio configurations, and Node modules, stay local on the device instead of uploading to OneDrive. Administrators can define folder exclusion rules for their organization. Little unsure about that one because I'm thinking, part of this is backup too. So do you really just want it on your computer? However, we've had situations where people have log files in OneDrive and they're like, I need more OneDrive space. I've taken up my 1 terabyte. What's all your stuff? Well, I've got 987 gigabytes of log files.
No.
Yeah, and it's like, So this would be a really good thing to say exclude them if they're not going up to your OneDrive.
Yeah.
But just to say, oh, well, we don't need all our tooling to go up there. I'm thinking kind of maybe you do for backup purposes in case you lose it or inadvertently delete it. Anyway, it's in development, August 2026, OneDrive for the worldwide standard tenant. That's all we have in development. Let's go ahead and move on to rolling out. Tamara, you want to take us into that area?
Sure. A couple things trip my trigger. Microsoft Teams interpreter, simultaneous mode enhancements. So Microsoft is raising the bar on clarity and control with interpreter. Admins can fully disable voice simulation via PowerShell when needed. Each speaker is automatically assigned a distinct voice, making multi-speaker conversations easier to follow. Where Microsoft is reducing distraction by showing shimmer effects only to interpreter users. Microsoft has added audio notifications to confirm activation and has introduced in-product feedback mechanisms so users can easily share their input. That is rolling out to worldwide, the standard tenant. And then I'll take one more out of the 4 that I tagged, just to leave a little something for Tom and Matthew. I would say if it's been driving you crazy that you can't control the number of lines that appear in the preview for an email in New Outlook for Windows,
then
stop
we have
freaking
something
out.
For you?
Stop freaking out. Because Outlook, Microsoft has done work on Outlook to allow variable numbers of message preview lines. So Outlook for Windows and Outlook for the web will now allow users to modify how the preview text for emails shows in the message list. The preview text can now take up 2 lines, 1 whole line, or 0 additional lines. And that's coming out to everybody. So that should be pretty good. The standard GCC, GCC High, DOD, everybody's getting some love on that one. What do you have, Matthew?
I have one whopping item in rolling out. Microsoft Purview, Insider Risk Management, ability to preview content in Insider Risk Management alerts. Insider Risk Management is excited to announce the ability to preview content directly within an IRM alert without having to create a case. Users with appropriate permissions will be able to preview relevant files referenced directly within Activity Explorer in each alert. Microsoft Purview Insider Risk Management correlates various signals to identify potential malicious or inadvertent insider risks such as IP theft, data leakage, and security violations. Insider Risk Management enables customers to create policies based on their own policies based on their own internal policies. I always have, when it says the same word in the same sentence, I always have to double check and make sure I pronounce both of them correctly. Create policies based on their own internal policies, governance, and organizational requirements. Built with privacy by design, users are
Be careful with that word. Be really careful.
pseudonymized. That word.
Pseudo-anonymized.
Thank you, Tom. That word caught me by surprise by default. And role-based access controls and audit logs are in place to help ensure user-level privacy. Pseudo-anonymized. What a word. That is currently rolling out. It's set to roll out this month, and it's coming to everyone. Standard worldwide, GCC, GCC High, and DoD. Everybody gets some IRM love.
Oh, for the rest of this session, I'm going to go anonymized. Okay, Outlook, Copilot settings in Classic Outlook for Windows. You'll now be able to access different Copilot settings directly in Classic Outlook for Windows. That's all they've said. That's all they're putting. I think the fact that they're doing anything with Copilot in Classic Windows is a minor miracle. So the more they do, the better, except that that's going to keep people on Classic Outlook longer, and I'm sure that Microsoft wants you off of that as soon as possible. But so what? That's coming out in July, and it's coming out for Outlook in the standard tenant. And then we also have Outlook co-authoring highlights and rewrite. So users can now collaborate with Copilot to make improvements to email drafts. Select a section of the draft and ask Copilot to make changes like changing its length, tone, and structure. I kind of thought that's what we were doing with Copilot already anyway, but I could be confused here. But that's officially coming out July of this year to Copilot Worldwide Standard. I don't think there was anything, or a couple other things here that I don't think need to be mentioned. So yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to launched, and there are not that many of those. So Tamara, did you have anything that you highlighted?
Yes. One. Outlook. Import calendars and contacts from PST file to mailbox in new Outlook for Windows. So with this update of support for PST files, in the new Outlook for Windows, users will be able to import calendars and contacts from PST files to Mailbox. Future releases of new Outlook will expand the support of PST files capabilities. So that's going on. Oh my goodness, they've got a new hashtag.
Oh, they do have a new
PST
hashtag.
files support. I thought those were going the way of the dodo.
So that should be PST file support.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
So, and that's coming out for GCC right now.
Great.
What do you got, Matthew?
I have two. Microsoft Insider Risk Management, Microsoft Fabric, Cloud Storage, and Cloud Service Activities as triggers. With this update, the indicators belonging to cloud storage apps like Box, Dropbox, and Google Drive, cloud services like Azure, Amazon Web Services, and Microsoft Fabric like Power BI and Data Lakehouse. Lakehouse will be supported as triggers in data leaks policies. With triggers, customers can define the conditions for bringing the user into the scope of a policy, while the respective indicators are used to determine risk score. This has launched this month, and it launched for standard worldwide tenants. And the last one I've got is Microsoft Edge Intune MAM, Mobile Application Management, Protected Downloads. The Protected Downloads feature for Intune MAM will now save downloaded files to Documents, Microsoft Edge, Downloads folder in OneDrive. This launched this month to Microsoft Edge for standard worldwide tenants.
Yeah, and it
That's
threw
all I
me for a
got.
loop when it happened to me, and I'm like, where'd my download files go?
Yeah,
Took a while to figure that one out.
Yep.
Well, we have a whopping one more, so I'll go ahead and take that just so I have something.
Okay.
Microsoft Copilot Frontier and Microsoft Agent User Request Approval Flows in the Admin Center. So for admins, agents in the Frontier program can be managed through the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. They are listed under the Agents and Connectors tab in the control system, where you can view all agent inventory for your organization. Agents built by Microsoft and available in the Frontier program will be displayed in the Agent Store. This feature will support users to request these agents if blocked by organizational policies. Admins will have the opportunity to further approve and reject these. And another hashtag Copilot Control System. So
Oh my.
we all have new hashtags to learn this time. And with that covers our roadmap for this week. Thank you all for being here. And as Tamara gets ready to cut this off, I'll play us out with anonymized do 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 do.
Anonymized.
do do do
do. All right, gotta
Anonymized
go.
do do do.
Bye, everyone.
Do 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 do. Oh, bye everyone.
Bye now.